Hello and welcome to Media-Ocrity Podcast. This is our first video cast. I hope we get to do it all the time for Media-Ocrity, where the show is it's just okay. I'm Bryan Kluger with Boomstick Comics. I'm so excited. You can see us now. You can see Jonathan Atterbury. You can see Jeremy Megert. What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
Are you excited as much as I am right now?
I'm so excited because you're so much more animated now that you know people are going to be seeing us.
usually I'm just, here we go.
Exactly. Just looks at the camera like this the whole time.
Oh man, that's exactly what I do the entire time. Jeremy, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How about you?
Doing all right. What's been going on with you?
Oh, just the usual, getting ready for Free Comic Book Day, which is the first weekend in May.
Yeah, are you gonna be giving out anything for free?
I'll probably be doing some free sketches. I think I'm going to be at Valhalla Comics in the afternoon. I'm working out the time on that right now.
Where's Valhalla Comics?
It is in Plano.
It's in Plano, so can I come by and request a free sketch of something of my choosing?
Absolutely.
Oh my god, I can't wait. I'm going to have a list. It's going to be a combination of comic book guy, Pee Wee Herman, and I don't know what else.
You can pick one thing on your list and I'll do that.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Jeremy, have you drawn John Lovitz before?
I have not.
How's my John Lovitz doing today? My hair. Jonathan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Just been working on my new book, and like I told you a few minutes ago, just about finished with chapter 2, so it's coming along.
It's coming along, and you've got a Captain America shirt on today.
I do. I was wearing a much tackier shirt, and then you told me we're going to do videos, so I was like, I'm going to get dressed up and put on the Captain America t-shirt.
You posted a picture on your Instagram recently or your Twitter or Facebook, I don't remember which, where you said you went to a comic book convention dressed as Captain America, but you really just had like a shirt on, some pants, and a Captain America shield.
I said I went as casual Steve Rogers.
Okay.
And that is what I did. Basically, that costume was just, in the Chris Evans Captain America movie, when Steve Rogers first goes into the Super Soldier program, and he comes out, and he throws on the T-shirt, he's chasing the dude through the street. That's the look I went for.
Well, you did a good job, sir.
Thank you. The full costume was just way too expensive. I wasn't going to do that. I could buy a T-shirt.
So, Jeremy, do you ever cosplay when you go to any of these things?
I do not. I always have a booth. Unfortunately, no cosplaying at the table.
No cosplay. If you were to cosplay, what would you cosplay as?
Oh, I have no idea. Never thought about it.
Oh, he's never thought about it. Jonathan, is that true?
Probably.
Really? What? I don't know about this. But we're Media-Ocrity. We're on iTunes under the Multimedia Men banner. Go look us up. Subscribe. It's going to be awesome. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. Oh, no, are we on Instagram? I don't remember. We're on Facebook and Twitter.
I don't think we are.
Yeah, we need to. We need to be on Instagram. And we need to be on Snapchat, too. We need to be snapping some dicks. I don't know. I'm just so excited we're on the video. Okay, good. We have a good show today. We're going to be talking about Harrison Ford. We're going to be talking about werewolf movies. And a little later on, we're going to be remaking and recasting movies for each other in a terrible and awful way. I feel terrible about it already. This was Jeremy's idea, right?
It was.
So, yeah, and I don't know if you saw, but your buddy Mitchell looks like on the Facebook page literally requested almost exactly this topic,
which was awesome because he had no idea about that.
Great timing.
That was great timing, and we're gonna be taking some questions. But before we get to that, let's get in a bit of the old news. Filmmaker Jonathan Demme died today, which is very sad. He was an awesome filmmaker. He directed movies mostly known for like Silence of the Lambs and Philadelphia, but he also did 3 Neil Young documentaries and a Talking Heads video as well. He was a badass. Did y'all like any of his movies, or Married to the Mob, or whatever?
I've really just seen Silence of the Lambs. I don't even think I've seen the rest of the movies you just mentioned.
You never saw Philadelphia?
No, I didn't.
Wow, that's
Missed
crazy.
out on that one.
All right, Silence of the Lambs. What about you, Jeremy?
That's the movie about the football player with Mark Wahlberg, right?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen that one.
A Mark Wahlberg movie
I've
where he
seen
gets
previews.
AIDS.
That's sad.
Is it? I always.
No, you're laughing at it is sad.
Yeah.
Jeremy seems so sincere there. That was really funny.
Well, you gotta sell it.
You got to sell it. All right. So we like Jonathan Demme. He's had a really cool resume. He started out with a movie called Caged Heat, which was about female prisoners in prison who get all sexified and fight, and it's awesome. And then he moved up to Oscar-winning movies, so he's a good dude, and he loved music. Moving on, trailer for the sequel to Kingsman. I really liked the first Kingsman movie so much, but now we have a sequel. Channing Tatum's in it. It looks like Jeff Bridges is in it. It looks like Colin Firth is back. Dogs and cats. I don't know. What do you think about the trailer?
I'm ready for that movie. I loved the first one.
Jeremy sent me the trailer just yesterday, I think, and it looked good. I didn't particularly care for the first one. I'll be honest. I thought the first one was a little bit ridiculous.
I'd rather watch a Kingsman movie than the next Bond movie any day.
With the last Bond movie, I'll be there right with you. But Kingsman,
yeah, exactly.
Kingsman was so good. It didn't take itself seriously. It was like a parody, but it was awesome. The violence, the characters. How did you not like that, Atterbury?
I thought the violence was awesome. I liked the action sequences a lot. However, the humor I thought was just absolutely awful.
What? When Sam Jackson is eating like a tray full of McDonald's? That's not awesome?
Yeah, no, I didn't see the humor in that. And I felt like the humor was just really juvenile, and it just didn't do it for me.
So Atterbury just said the humor was too juvenile. This is the same guy who hates Bill Murray.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Oh my God. The same guy, Jeremy, that hates Bill Murray, and I don't get it. Do you get it?
Man, I am a conundrum.
You are a weird fuck. That's what you are.
I'm a complex fellow.
Jeremy, what do you got to say about all this?
You just gotta let it be what it is. you gotta let John just be John.
That's how I live. I just gotta let me be me, man.
He likes terrible things and hates good things.
You gotta let Atterbury.
There's
no other way. There's no other way to do it.
Like I said, though, I mean, so Kingsman had
the current of the stream.
There were definitely some good parts about it. And that one scene with Colin Firth fighting in the church was one of the best action sequences I think I've ever seen. But I just wish that the humor had been a little bit funnier, really. I don't care about to say it's juvenile, I think that's probably the wrong thing. But really, it was just, it just didn't strike me as funny for whatever reason.
Okay, well, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, though. I like Channing Tatum.
The trailer looked really good.
Okay, so you're gonna see it, even though you didn't like the first one.
Oh well, I liked it enough to give the second one a shot.
Oh, you're making my head hurt. Okay, all right. Moving on. Let's talk about what happened today. The big announcement today on Twitter, on them Twitters. Director M. Night Shyamalan. Just watching your face when I talk is just so good. I can't tell. But no, filmmaker M. Night Shyamalan announced the sequel to Unbreakable and Split with a third movie that's going to tie in both movies with Bruce Willis, with Sam Jackson, and with James McAvoy as their respective characters in those movies, as well as Anya Taylor-Johnson. I'm very excited about this. This is what I wrote. I wrote an article about it, and I just, oh God. Have y'all seen Split yet?
No.
Jeremy hasn't seen it yet. I saw it. I called you as soon as I was done watching it, and I just gushed about it to you. But and I immediately told Jeremy, I was like, dude, you got to go see Split. Trust me, just go see it. Because I didn't want him to find out like this.
Well, now he found out like this because he didn't fucking follow instructions.
I know.
I haven't really found anything out. All I knew was there was an Unbreakable sequel. I didn't really know it was tied to Split.
Well, it is.
But it doesn't really give anything away, so I think I'll be all right.
Okay.
But it does.
So he announced it, which is really cool. I mean, I know we've all heard that Shyamalan, since Unbreakable, has wanted to make the Unbreakable a trilogy of sorts. And with Split, we kind of more or less got that. But now I think they're just like, oh, cause Split's made almost $300 million on like a $7 million budget. It's like, here you go. Let's let Blumhouse give him like $10 million to make this. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait.
So is it going to be a Blumhouse movie, the Unbreakable 2?
I'm going to have to look because I'm trying to remember who owns Unbreakable, but Split was definitely Blumhouse, though.
Yeah, no, Split definitely was. I'm just hoping that he doesn't lose the mojo, because he had it for a while, and then he lost it, and now he seems to be getting it back, and I'm really hoping he doesn't go off the rails again.
See, I don't think it's his fault. I do believe that Shyamalan was like the next Spielberg, Lucas, Gilliam, Hitchcock, and Scorsese, Coppola all rolled into one. And he did so well with 3 movies, Signs, Unbreakable, and Sixth Sense. And then the studios were like, oh my God, this guy's awesome. Here's $150 million to make your next movies. But he didn't have creative say in anything. They were like, okay, since we give you all this, and then everything sucked. Until The Visit, which $5 million, he got to do anything he wanted, and that's what we got, and it was awesome. So,
yeah, that's true. It was awesome.
So I think it's just, it's a product of, having all the executives in the suits having a say because they gave him so much money. So hopefully he doesn't do that anymore. I really hope that's the case, because I hope with this new movie, I hope they really only give him like $10 million, maybe 15 at the most.
Yeah, they shouldn't. They really shouldn't need too big of a budget, because if you look at Unbreakable, there was I can't think of any special effects that are in that movie. It was just completely grounded in its world, and that's what made it such a cool and unique superhero movie.
Yeah, I really want that to work. I really hope it's good. I think it'll be good, because I think he's on this role now. I hope he never goes back to Universal or wherever he was that gave him hundreds of millions of dollars. So he can have, because when Shyamalan can direct himself and like what he wants, I think it turns out well. We won't get another repeat of Airbender.
Or The Happening.
Oh, So I just had a conversation with somebody about The Happening. It has really good setup and good story with it. I just wasn't. Oh man,
you're right. It just was executed horribly.
And I really think that's part of the studio. I think the studio was just like, there was too much money, there was too much going on, and that's what happened.
Probably. I bet you're right.
Jeremy, do you like Shyamalan?
Yeah.
So you're excited for this?
I don't know if I've seen anything past like Signs, and then like
The Village or The Lady in the Water.
I think The Village is. I never saw Lady in the Water. I think The Village is the last one I saw.
Did you see After Earth with Will Smith and his dumb son?
Oh yeah, I saw that movie. I actually wasn't even aware when I was watching. I didn't even know that wasn't a Shyamalan movie until somebody told me later.
Okay.
Yeah, they kept that one under wraps.
They did. They did not promote his name anywhere on that movie, which was so funny. And he didn't ruin that movie. Will Smith ruined that fucking movie. And his dumb, stupid ass, gender confused son. I'm sorry. I get angry. Jaden just.
A little bit of range there, I think.
He sucks.
Warming it up.
Media-Ocrity does not endorse the viewpoints of Bryan Kluger.
No kidding, right?
No.
On your own on that one, Chief.
Well, here we go. Well, fuck Jaden. Fuck him and his stupid ass. Let's move on. I gotta mention 2 video games, actually, I think. Do y'all remember, well, Jonathan might be too young for this, but Jeremy, you might not be. Do you remember a movie for the Sega Saturn, or a video game for the Sega Saturn called Night Trap?
No.
No, you don't remember that? It was like a live-action video game. It was real controversial. They took it off shelves after the first run back in, was it 92? You don't remember that?
I did not have a Sega Saturn.
Okay. So with
I
it,
think at that point I was probably I had like PlayStation. That was around 92.
okay, so Sega CD, they released this video game that was all like live action. It was like all, movies, and you get to tell the characters what to do, sort of thing, not like animated. And it involved like a bunch of young women spending the night at a slumber party at a house, and then vampires would come in and try to attack them. So you would have to try to save the girls by setting traps off in the house for these vampires. It was really cool, and it was really violent and very nudity type of thing for its time, and it got taken off shelves because of that. It was crazy. But they're re-releasing it. It has not been re-released in so long, but they're re-releasing it for the Xbox One and PS4. I'm so excited. Are there any games you guys would like to see that, like, from that era be re-released, like with like a new type of transfer that looks really good for PS4 or Xbox One?
Oh, absolutely. There are two games that immediately come to mind for me. There's a old Star Wars game for PlayStation. It was pretty early for PlayStation. Star Wars Masters of the Terrace Ka.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically set up like Tekken or something like that, but it was just Star Wars dudes battling each other. I would love to see a remake / remaster of that game. And there was another one that was a little bit later on for PlayStation again called Jedi Power Battles. And basically, it was, you'd be one of the members of the Jedi Council, and you just kind of ran around slicing up battle droids and stuff like that. And it was 2 players, so one could be Obi-Wan, one could be Qui-Gon, and you could just run around slicing up the dudes together. It was a lot of fun, so I would love to see something like that brought back.
Well, that would be cool. I would like that.
Yeah,
I would do it.
I think it'd be awesome. Just any of the old Star Wars games. Give it to me.
The same with you.
Give me all those Jedi Academy, the Dark Forces games. I'll take all those, please.
The original Twisted Metal.
Too.
Just start with Dark Forces and just work your way forward.
All
Did
right.
either of you guys play Star Wars Demolition? Speaking of Twisted Metal.
No. What is that?
It was another PlayStation game, and it was essentially just Twisted Metal with Star Wars vehicles.
Interesting. I want to play that. When was
the
this?
Exact same game. It was just put out with, they basically just like, oh, hey, Twisted Metal's doing really well. Let's do Twisted Metal, the Star Wars version. And it was a lot of fun. I remember having a ton of fun playing that game with my sister.
Well, that would have been an easy sell for me right there.
Yeah.
Well then. Well, yeah. I'm real excited about Night Trap. I hope they do more of this. They're like mostly they're like a lot of Sierra games or like computer games like Space Quest or Heroes Quest or even like the Phantasmagoria games. That would be so much fun to not have to play those on fucking Windows 7 or something like that, but actually play them on a console. I would love that. That would be so much fun. So yeah, all right. That's cool. Any other news y'all want to bring up before we move on to our next topic?
I can't think of anything.
All right.
No.
All right. Let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Harrison Ford. Do y'all like Harrison Ford?
Yeah, a little bit.
a little bit.
I'd say that if most kids wanted to grow up to be a firefighter or an astronaut or something along those lines, I just wanted to grow up to be Harrison Ford. That's really what happened there.
Wow.
And the important thing to note when people want to do that is they don't want to grow up to. It's not like saying I want to grow up to be Indiana Jones or Han Solo. It's like I want to grow up to be Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Specifically, it's not the character; it's the guy himself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I mean, he's 74 years old. He was born in Chicago. And he's kind of made a life for himself, really, kind of early on. I think from what I've read is that he was a pretty shy dude, and then his senior year in college, he took like a drama class, and that like changed his life. And then he made some movies nobody's heard of, and then he did American Graffiti, where he met who will not be named, and then right after that, yes, and then right after that he did Star Wars, and the rest is history. Like, it's so crazy that like so early on in his career, he got that one role, Star Wars, that really changed his life, and then went on to do like.
Wasn't he like 30 when he did Star Wars, or even like American Graffiti? I feel like he was actually not that super young when he started.
So if he's 70, so he was born in 42, 1942. So Star Wars was 77, right? Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, he was in his 30s. This is why he's in his 70s now, which is crazy. But yeah, so Star Wars. So he did. You guys. So what is it about Harrison Ford that makes you like him as an actor and as a person?
I think he's the quintessential male lead. I mean, dudes want to be him and ladies want to be with him. It's really just what it comes. I mean, he walks the line between being like super cool and super manly, but also charming and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's really where it comes in. He's kind of got it all.
And it always comes across as never really being in an overbearing manner or fake. It just always seems very genuine, just kind of the way that he is.
Yeah.
So you think he's like a down-to-earth, genuine, nice guy?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
All right. I've never met him, so I have no idea. I don't know.
I'm just going to tell myself that that's what the case is.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe anything less.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So besides Star Wars and let's say Indiana Jones, what are your favorite movies of his? What do you like to see him in? What roles?
Well, I think to me, number one, outside of Han Solo and Indiana Jones, is always going to be Air Force One.
Yeah, definitely.
That is the absolute high point in Harrison Ford action besides the two roles we mentioned.
Well, Air Force One, huh?
Such a great movie. It doesn't get any better than Air Force One. It's like it's Die Hard on a plane, man.
What's your pick, Kluger? Hollywood Homicide? Is that your favorite?
Oh, the one with Josh Hartnett? No. I do like The Fugitive quite a bit.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I do enjoy Witness, which I think he won the Oscar for Witness too,
Witness
for Best
is a great
Actor.
movie.
He was really good in that. I like Regarding Henry, which was I think
that's a good one.
J.J. Abrams' like first like movie that he wrote or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I believe it was.
There's so many other good ones. What was the movie? Oh, he was a Jack Ryan. Clear and Present Danger. I liked him in that.
In two movies.
Yeah, he did that one and Patriot Games.
Patriot Games. Yes, I was trying to remember that one for sure. Did y'all like him?
That's a great example of because he did those movies and he was the first person to do Jack Ryan, and then you had all the other dudes lining up for their shot to take over the Harrison Ford role.
Yeah. And then, okay, how can I forget Blade Runner? Holy shit. Blade Runner. He was so good in that.
You can forget Blade Runner because it's fucking boring.
You don't like Blade Runner? What? What?
So true.
That's a great movie to take a nap through.
I can't do anything but take a nap through that movie. Jeremy and I lived together for a few years, and during that time, like every month or two, we'd be like, hey, let's try to watch Blade Runner. And then we'd watch it, and both of us would be fucking sleeping within 20 minutes.
Like we get past the interview and the pictures of the buildings. It's like, and then we would wake up during the credits. Every time.
It doesn't matter. It's such a boring movie.
And we were like, hey, you know what? Let's do. We'll get it this time. This will be the time that we watch this movie, and it's awesome. And it just was never awesome.
I don't get it. What about Sabrina or Working Girl?
They're all right.
They're all right. Did you know that Harrison Ford was in the movie E.T.?
Was he the guy with the keys?
No. His part was cut into deleted scene. However, he's the school principal where Elliot goes to school.
Interesting. I did not know that.
It's pretty interesting. So it's funny. The guy who is in E.T., the guy with the keys, who shows up at the very end with the mother, you know what I'm talking about? He auditioned to be Indiana Jones.
Really?
And supposedly when he came in, he he's I guess normally clumsy, and he like knocks something over, and they didn't give him the part because of that, because he was too clumsy in real life. That's like
Sounds like a pretty Indiana Jones thing to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, right.
But no, they went with Harrison, so that's like kind of a funny ET type of casting thing right there. Yeah.
I also got to say for Ford, I liked him in Ender's Game.
Yeah, he was kind of a bad guy in Ender's Game.
Well, that's it's kind of a complex role that he was playing, but I thought it was a pretty good role for him.
I did too. I really liked him in that. Another movie where he's like a bad guy wasn't the one with Michelle Pfeiffer, What Lies Beneath. Do you remember that?
That was a really good one.
That was a good movie, and he was a bad guy in that. If I
He was a
remember,
bad guy in that.
Yeah, I like bad Harrison Ford. I like a bad guy Harrison Ford. He is good, but
he does intense pretty well.
Yeah, he does. And I guess supposedly it's to point to you. And I totally forgot. And it's been, I think, since they've aired, since I've watched them. But the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. Supposedly Harrison Ford was in an episode as Dr. Henry Ford, basically Jr.
Henry Ford?
Well, not Henry Ford. Indiana. What am I saying?
Henry Jones.
Yeah. Media-Ocrity, where we're just okay. Thank you, folks.
I don't know if you can lump the we into That's a you.
That's a me thing only.
Yeah, that's
alternating the sucker. Really,
that's a you problem. Not really an us thing.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's our problem, but it's
I'm sorry.
Around you.
What can I do? I get Henry Jones Jr. and Henry Ford, Harrison Ford. That's all the same thing. So growing up, I guess
it's just words.
It's just words mixed. Well, word salad, sir. Let's toss that word salad. I crack myself up. I do. So Harrison Ford in life, I guess, became like a very really into Boy Scouts, and he became like the second highest decorated Boy Scout that you can call it. I don't know if it was an Eagle Scout. I'm trying to remember what it was called, but he still did that through later in life, and he's I think that, do you think that character, like the being in the woods and the wilderness, kind of transformed him into the Indiana Jones character? Like going on?
I don't know. I don't really know what he was like before he became a Boy Scout. I mean, maybe he forgot to get the badge where they teach him how to not crash your plane. I'm not sure about that.
He's had some instances with flying. He's a good flyer. Landing, not so much. He has
pilot, maybe.
Yeah, pilot. Is he? What's he been? Has he been a pilot in a movie before?
Yeah, a couple.
I'm just messing with you. Han Solo, Indiana Jones. Those are probably his best ones. Which do you prefer out of those two? Who would you want to be friends with in real life out of those two?
Here's Han Solo, obviously.
Why Han Solo and not Indiana?
Well, they're both awesome. I mean, you're asking me to choose between two things that I love.
Well, Han Solo just seems like a dick with a heart of gold who will probably fuck you over at some point. And then Indiana Jones is like a smart teacher who seems funny and goes on adventures and probably give you cool shit from history.
You're going to have way more fun partying with Han Solo than you are with your history teacher.
That's true.
And let's be honest, if you're hanging out with Indiana Jones, that means Marcus is probably going to be there. But if you're hanging out with Han Solo, then Chewie's going to be there.
What's wrong with Marcus? Marcus seems awesome. Just a drunk guy who gets lost in his own museum.
I'd rather hang with Chewie.
You would rather hang with... You can't let him... You can't beat him in games, though. He'll kill you.
No, always let the Wookiee win, man.
Oh, God.
That's just a good reason.
It just also seems like you have a higher chance of dying hanging out with Indiana Jones than you do Han Solo.
Really?
Agreed.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, with Harrison Ford, well, I guess he's not going to be in any of the Star Wars movies anymore. But they're going to do another... You're still sore about that subject, right?
I will be forever sore about that subject, my friend.
What was it like? Because I'm sure you two saw the movie together. What did John do when that part happened? Did you know it was coming? Did you not know it was coming?
We were afraid that it was coming.
What?
I knew it was coming. I tried to prepare him for it. I was like, it's going to happen. And he's like, no.
And what was it like sitting next to him, basically, in that theater when that fateful death happened?
I put my hand on his little knee. He was trembling. I comforted him because I knew it was about to happen. You know, I saw him walk out on that little platform, and I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, I don't remember. I blacked out.
He was shaking a little bit.
My
but we
goodness.
got through it together.
Well, good. I'm glad you got through it together. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jonathan. I know it's a rough patch in your life.
It's a dark day.
Well, I guess they're making another Indiana Jones. They've actually just announced that when the next one's coming out, the 5th one. So, do we really need another Indiana Jones movie with Harrison Ford? Do we really?
Yes. We need to make up for the fucking Forbidden Skull.
What is it called?
Crystal Skull.
Crystal Skull, yes. It should be forbidden.
There's making up that we can't leave it at that. There needs to be something good that it's left at, and not that giant piece of shit.
I totally agree. But I mean, he's 72 years old. He's gonna be 75 when that movie comes out. I mean, who do you want to see take over? It can't be Shia LaBeouf anymore.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Do you want to see like Short Round come in and like take over?
No, I mean honestly,
No.
I just say give the fucking part to Chris Pratt. I mean, I
agree with that. That'd be my pick.
Chris Pratt.
That was the first thing I thought watching the first Guardians of the Galaxy when he like walks into that room and he's looking for the little, the orb that's got the Infinity Gem in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Total Indiana Jones vibe right there.
Yep.
All right.
I think that dude is like the perfect person to take over the role.
So do you
Disney, he's got a good relationship with Disney clearly, and they're going to need to replace him, and he'll be right about the perfect age to take over the indie role.
Do you think Chris Pratt is kind of like Harrison Ford, the person in real life?
But he's like, I mean, he seems like he's a cool dude. He seems like he's got his head in the right place, and I can absolutely, in my opinion, he could be Han Solo. I think you could just give he's pretty much as close to this generation's Han Solo or Harrison Ford as it gets, I think.
Hey now.
I agree with that.
Hey now. All right. I like what you're saying there. So, yeah, Harrison Ford. Any other words of wisdom about Harrison Ford, or what you would like to see him in, or is there a movie that you wish he was in?
I'm interested to see this new Blade Runner sequel.
A far, far off sequel.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen the first one in its entirety, and the first one is boring from what I've seen, but maybe the second one will actually be good.
Okay. Let's hope so.
Yeah, let's hope so.
What about you, Jeremy?
Yeah, probably the Blade Runner sequel also. Just see if it's see how it goes.
So we got Blade Runner and we got Indiana Jones coming up with Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping that he doesn't pass away before then.
Don't even say that, man.
Shut your mouth.
Hey.
When I saw in the neys that he crashed his plane the most recent time, and he was in critical condition, that was a scary moment for me.
Well, I have to sit Shiva for Harrison Ford if that happens.
I'm not a religious man, but I may have done some praying that day.
So that's going to be really rough for you when that time comes, huh?
Yeah, I think that like, of all the celebrities that when they pass will affect me the most will probably be him and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Really?
Yeah, I think those two will fuck me up the most.
Wow, okay. All right. Shit. All right. Well, Harrison Ford for sure is an awesome dude. We love Harrison Ford here. We want him to make many more movies and not go away too soon. But let's move on. Let's move on to our next topic. Werewolf movies. We talked about vampires last week. Let's talk about werewolves this week. Discuss. Werewolf movies. Do y'all like werewolf movies? Do werewolves scare you more than vampires, or vampires scare you more than werewolves?
I think both are equally awesome, and both have equal potential to be scary or totally stupid, depending on how they are used.
Okay. Jeremy?
I agree with Jonathan. I think conceptually, I probably find the idea of a werewolf a little scarier.
I think, yeah, because vampires... vampires do scare me, for sure. But werewolves, it was something just about transforming like that and completely not being able to communicate with it, really, depending on...
Yeah, there's more animal than human there, I
Mhm.
feel like. And that's, I feel like you're dealing with more of like an animal predator at that point.
It would be pretty scary. That scares
Yeah.
me. Just like just sitting here talking with you. Like we're hanging out one night and there's a full moon. We're tagging along. We're talking Star Wars, and all of a sudden you turn into some beast that wants to kill me. That's some scary shit. No more Star Wars talks. It is. It's me running for my life. That's what's scary about it. And there's been so many werewolf movies over the years. Of course, the Lon Chaney werewolf movie from way, way back in the day, the 30s, 40s, kind of changed all that or kind of brought us to that. But then The Wolfman, yes, from 1941, Lon Chaney. So good. Bela Lugosi's in it. It's all good stuff. But there's been tons of good werewolf movies over the years since then that I think might be some of my favorite movies ever. What do you think?
About which movies or what?
Yeah, like movies. Like what scares you most about the werewolves, and what movies that really scare you or really do it for you for werewolves?
Well, I always really was partial to Silver Bullet.
It
I think that is a tremendously fun movie.
is a fun
I
movie.
love the honk laugh you got from that.
That was a honk laugh.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a fun movie. I always really, I think that came out at a good age for me. I forget exactly how old I was when it came out, but I I watched that as a kid, and it scared the hell out of me at the time. But it was also just a fun movie, so I liked that a lot. I also really like Trick or Treat. That's one of my all-time favorite horror movies.
So Trick or Treat, if you're unfamiliar with, is an anthology, different stories converging into one. But there is an awesome werewolf scene to it, set to a Marilyn Manson song, might I add.
Yeah, and it's just one of the best werewolf scenes in my opinion. That part, that was really good.
What makes it one of the
Uh,
best?
I just love the transformations that you see of them peeling off the skin and all that
It
kind of
was
stuff.
pretty gnarly.
It was gnarly, and like you said, the Marilyn Manson song that they used, which is a Eurythmics song, really, right?
Correct.
Originally, so the song choice that they had was really good. So it set up the whole movie, or kind of bookended it in a nice way. So that was super sweet. I also really enjoyed Wolf Cop.
I reviewed Wolf Cop, and damn, that movie's fun.
Yeah, that's a super fun movie. That was a lot of fun. And Late Phases is kind of a more recent one that was also really good.
I don't think I saw Late Phases.
Yeah, Late Phases is actually about a older, kind of a tough dude who moves into a retirement community where a werewolf kind of takes hold in that community. And so it's a old retired dude battling a werewolf in a retirement home.
Cool.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Cool.
It was good. I
J-
think it's on Netflix. So
All right, I'm gonna
Check that
I'll
out.
have to do that. Jeremy, what about you?
Oh man, my favorites. I mean, I probably got to go. Silver Bullet was a good one. That's a great one when you're, that time period when you're young. But I probably got to go with Underworld overall.
Underworld?
Because I love, yeah,
Wow.
man, I love the design of those werewolves, and I love that those are just actors running around in actual suits that they made. I find that much more intense than the idea of like digital, just big digital werewolves running around.
Yeah.
All right. All right. You like
And to me, those are a good blend of like, I like it when it's the wolf portion doesn't like overpower, like the human portion of it. Like I don't care for the werewolves that have like the big long snouts. So the underworld werewolves are hands down probably my favorites.
okay. All right.
I do have to say that I think the absolute worst werewolf in a movie has to be in the Harry Potter film.
David
Oh, yeah.
David
I agree with that one.
Thewlis. David
Yeah.
Thewlis.
I think that when Lupin transforms is absolutely the worst werewolf in any movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's very
Yeah.
forgettable as a werewolf.
Of all all the great creatures they made in those movies, and that was the werewolf they came up with.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be terrifying, and it could have been so good, but they just shat the bed so hard.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I'll have to say mine. I mean, one that always will stand on its own is Thriller, the Michael Jackson Thriller video, which scared me as a kid. You know, when I was growing up, watching and practicing all the Michael Jackson dance moves. Oh, thank you. I would hide behind a wall or under a table when he turned into a werewolf because it scared me so bad.
That was a really good werewolf, actually, too, that he transformed into.
That was Rick Baker, who Michael Jackson got that idea, and Rick Baker from, I think, one of the coolest werewolf transformations and greatest werewolf movies of all time, American Werewolf in London, which was directed by John Landis, which was kind of a comedy horror movie. And I loved it. It was about two U.S. guys, friends, backpacking through Europe, and they get bit by a werewolf, and all shit goes to hell. I loved it. I really liked it. I love that movie. It's a good one. Also, do you remember a movie from 2002 called Dog Soldiers?
I do.
Oh, that movie's so much fun and such a good werewolf movie. I love that it really was like a bunch of army elite guys in the middle of the woods and just attacked by a family of werewolves in a house. And they were so funny. They were hilarious. It was gory. It was scary. I loved it.
I'll have to check that one out. I haven't seen that one. I've heard of it, but
that's
I
a really
seen
fun
it.
one.
Yeah, Dog Soldiers is awesome. Jeremy, I really think you will really like that movie.
I will seek that one out.
Also, another really good one that has sequels to it, Ginger Snaps. If you've never seen Ginger Snaps, you should definitely highly recommend and seek Ginger Snaps out.
I have not seen Ginger Snaps.
Okay, you should see Ginger Snaps. It is from the 2000s, it's a Canadian film, and it's about two sisters going to high school, and werewolf happens, and it's kind of like a satire and parallel to girls, coming up and going through puberty and stuff like that, and it's damn good. Oh, so good. Right. You're really going to love Ginger Snaps, and they made 2 sequels after that, too, with the same people.
Are the sequels good?
The sequels are good. The second sequel was took place right after the first one, and the third one goes back into like colonial times. It was good. But yeah, the first Ginger Snaps, seriously, if you haven't seen it, go see Ginger Snaps. It's so much fun. Also, we can't go podcast without mentioning Monster Squad. Probably.
I was gonna say, I was just waiting for that one.
What are you shaking your head for?
I was like, we're gonna get Monster Squad and Thriller.
You are correct, sir. The Monster Squad.
I could have made this list for you.
Monster Squad. The guy who played the guy who turned into Wolfman in Monster Squad was Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite, John Kreese. He's so amazing in that role, and I think it's one of the coolest not transformations, I think, when they blow Wolfman up, but you can't kill him because you have to have a silver bullet, and all of his body parts start coming up, and he like howls at the movie. That scene is so good. Oh, I love that Wolfman. All right, what about one that we haven't mentioned? That an unscary Wolfman movie, werewolf movie, Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf, probably one of the better movies of the 80s. Michael J. Is it?
Really?
Werewolf and basketball, come on.
One of the better movies of the 80s? Fucking Teen Wolf?
Yes, come on.
I'm going to disagree with you on that.
When Michael J. Fox...
This coming from the guy that bet on which was going to be a bigger hit, E.T. or Crush Groove.
Hey man, Crush Groove was pretty good. But no, I'm just saying, Teen Wolf is a damn good movie. No horror aspect to it at all. Comedy, family friendly. Michael J. Fox as the werewolf just has a friend named Styles, and he rides a van that's moving down the street. Oh, and it's about, I love that movie. How do you not like that movie?
I don't know. It's just not good.
It's just not good. When was that last time you saw that movie?
I think I probably watched it 5 or 6 years ago. and
Oh.
I've intentionally avoided it since then.
Jesus. What about you, Jeremy? Do you like Teen Wolf?
It's okay. I mean, I liked it in the 80s when I saw it.
It's
It
still
was fun then.
it's still fun now.
Do I think it probably holds up? I doubt it.
We'll have to
Okay.
see. We'll have to see. Since what werewolf movie do you want to see made now that they haven't really made yet? Like, do you want to see like a werewolf in space type of movie? Do you want to see like Han Solo as a werewolf, in a weird alternate bizarro world of Star Wars? I don't know. What do you want to see werewolf wise?
Well, so I think last week when we were talking about what vampire movies we wanted to see, I brought up Castlevania. And I'm going to go ahead and just use that same answer for this question because Castlevania has werewolves and vampires and all that stuff. So give me a fucking Castlevania movie with werewolves and vampires in it. I'll be set.
All right. Jeremy?
Werewolf movie that I haven't seen that's not been made? Yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of anything offhand. There's a pretty decent looking werewolf monster in the Killer Instinct video game.
Okay. All right.
Now, one thing I'm going to also say is that I would love to see a video game made with a kind of let's have BioWare make a video game where instead of like Dragon Age where you're Lord of the Rings kind of, ogres and wizards and knights and stuff like that, or instead of Mass Effect where you're doing this all in space, you can assemble a team of classic monsters. So you can have a Frankenstein-type monster and a vampire and werewolves and stuff like that. And you have to go around doing the mission and the story as these characters. I'd really like to see an RPG built around that world.
Okay. All right.
Actually, I've got one. There's a Wolverine story, and it's I don't know if it's like Canadian folklore or what it is, but there's a creature that pops up in the Wolverine stories that's kind of like it's very werewolfish. It's called like the Hunter in the Darkness, and it's basically kind of like a big, large werewolf creature that's similar to the curse of the werewolf that I think just kind of roams here and there in the Canadian wilderness. I think is where it pops up every now and then in the Wolverine stories. And I would actually like to see a little Wolverine fighting some werewolves in a movie. I'd be down for that.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be awesome.
I'd like to see that too. I like werewolves. I could just watch anything with werewolves. I don't care what it is. If it's a werewolf, I'm watching it. Werewolf and pro wrestling. That's what I want to see. That is what.
Combine the two.
That's what I want to see.
Get a werewolf pro wrestler.
All right.
Wasn't there a TV show that had like monsters? It was like there was something like that though.
With werewolves
like
and pro wrestling?
Like Monster Brawl or something like that?
Oh, where does...
Oh, yeah. That was a movie that they put out on Netflix for a while, I think.
That's right.
Oh, I want to see this.
It was just like a big wrestling ring with all the different classic monsters.
I want to see this.
Yeah, look it up. I think it's called Monster Brawl. I think Jeremy was right about that.
I've got to see this. All right.
It was made for you, Kluger.
That is made for me.
Was.
Oh, God. Yes. All right. So we've talked about Harrison Ford. We talked about news. We talked about werewolves. Before we get to our last segment, let's answer a few questions from the fans. We've got a couple questions coming from Mitchell Blumka on Facebook. Follow him. One of his questions is, what's the probability of having Adam Sandler in an Expendables movie? Would you pay to see Adam Sandler in an Expendables movie?
Definitely not.
Yeah, no.
I'll pass on that one.
Why not?
Well, because we've seen how Adam Sandler works in kind of, an ensemble cast, and it's not good. It's not pretty.
It would be different.
Okay, so you're saying let's put make grown-ups basically into an action movie.
Yes.
I'd rather not. Nope.
I would definitely. I mean, the probability of having Adam Sandler in an Expendables movie is 1% or 0%. Would I pay to see it? Absolutely. I want to see what Adam Sandler can do action-wise in an Expendables movie. I'm sure that he could add something to it if he's not like silly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Or no, actually, fuck it.
The most action movie I want to see Adam Sandler in is like The Ridiculous Six.
Okay. Which happened. No, hey, if I will pay to see Adam Sandler as Billy Madison in an Expendables movie. I would definitely see that. I would.
Yep.
See. All right.
As long as it's battling the big penguin.
Another question from Mitchell. In the most respectful way possible, which recently deceased actor would you want to star in an upcoming movie in a Weekend at Bernie's fashion? So
David Bowie.
So David Bowie would be like the dead guy who like just kind of.
Yeah, like putting on a concert of David Bowie's using his corpse, like marionette strings, you know?
Oh, ooh, you went dark there. I like
In a
it.
respectful way. In the most
respectful way.
Let's be clear. There's nothing respectful about this.
Oh.
I would take his corpse and put strings on it and make it dance.
In a respectful way here. So you might as well just go for broke.
I guess I'm doing Robin Williams in a Patch Adams remake or a sequel where he has to like bring himself back to life, I guess. Too soon?
No.
No, it's not too soon.
It's just right.
All right, Jeremy?
I feel like if you're going Weekend at Bernie's for that kind of theme, I think I've got to go with Lemmy.
Oh, hell yeah. Bring fucking Lemmy back to Weekend at Lemmy's. Oh my god, yes. That is a great one. I like that. That is a good choice. His Boyle could be like his own character, like could talk or something.
That's gross.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, and the last question, also for Mitchell. Your favorite good guy you'd like to see in a bad guy role, and vice versa, bad guy in a good guy role.
Oh man, that's a tough question.
It is a tough question. I'm trying to think of like, you kind of have to.
All right, I'd like to see Mike Myers playing a truly evil villain.
Has he before?
Not that I think we just lost Jeremy, by the way.
We did lose Jeremy. We're keeping going. We got to keep going.
There we go.
There we go.
And
we're
he's
here.
back.
We're back.
And he's back.
But yeah, I would really like to see Mike Myers playing a psycho villain. I think that he would do really well with that.
All right. I can see that. I would have to probably. You go ahead.
I was gonna say I think that it could be really good. You know, we've seen Robin Williams do it. We've seen Jim Carrey do it, and I think that those type of actors and comedians can really kind of flip the switch and be excellent and very scary when they want to be.
You see, I would like to see Tom Hanks for an entire movie play a vicious, cold-blooded fucking villain. He's done it like once or twice, but for only a few minutes at a time. And I think
I think that's a good idea.
I think that would be awesome. Tom Hanks as the bad guy. Now as a bad guy, as a good guy? I mean, pick any of the tall, blonde bad guys from Die Hard movies and put him as a family man or something like that.
Jeremy, what do you think?
Well, for someone that normally plays good guys, I actually watched Fantastic Beast recently, and you guys have both seen that?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen it. But at the end, when it's revealed that Johnny Depp is actually the villain and going to be the villain in this next series of movies, I actually really like the idea of seeing him, be the creepy villain when he's normally like Jack Sparrow and all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting, and I'm actually looking forward to that.
It would be pretty cool. I like that. I thought you were going to...
We're going to go...
Oh, go ahead.
What were you going to say?
I thought you were going to... Instead of Johnny Depp, I thought you were going to go with Newt Scamander as the bad guy. Or a good guy, bad guy. I'm glad you went Johnny Depp.
Well, he was actually... Eddie Redmayne was the bad guy in that god-awful Jupiter Ascending movie.
He was, and I liked that movie. You're welcome.
I thought that movie was awful, but I think that he was good in that role. I generally like Eddie Redmayne. I've yet to watch him in something that I don't think he does a good job in.
Yeah.
As far as bad guys, though, that's a tough question. I don't know. I'm kind of drawing a blank at the moment, to be honest.
I mean, I guess Al Pacino has played good guys and bad guys. That's kind of hard.
Yeah, he's not like a good guy. He's not somebody or necessarily a bad guy. He kind of just operates in the gray zone.
Right. Yeah, who knows? We'll get back to it and we'll answer it later. But let's move on to our really fun segment right now. It's going to be bittersweet because I just can't believe my mind came up with this. Jeremy, since this was your idea, why don't you explain what we're about to do?
All right, so normally people enjoy our segments where we make fun of one another. And so I figured that what better way to do it, since we like to do recastings, than have us recast movies that each other likes, but to do it for the most annoying way possible. Like, what one movie would you love to have to force one of us to watch that would just be absolutely terrible for us? And that was my idea.
Oh, that was a good idea, and I hated coming up with this fucking shit because now it's in my head. Now it's in my mind now, forever. Thank you. So who's going first?
Well, you
Bryan,
go first, Kluger.
yeah, you're so excited. Let's have you go first.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. For Atterbury, I'm very sorry. I chose to recast and remake Young Frankenstein.
All right.
Because I know you like that movie.
I sure do.
So, playing Dr. Frederick Frankenstein, instead of Gene Wilder, I'm going to cast Charlie Hunnam.
That's actually not that bad. That doesn't offend me, that idea.
The monster, the Frankenstein's monster, will be now played by Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
Igor, played by the amazing Marty Feldman, will now be played by Rob Schneider. Oh, I hate myself. Madeline Kahn's character, Elizabeth, will now be played by Paris Hilton.
Oh, God.
Inga, who was originally Terry Garr, will now be played by Kristen Stewart. And Cloris Leachman, who played the amazing character Frau Blucher, will just cast a horse now, Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, rough.
Rough. That was rough. So that was for you.
All right.
I like how he powered himself down more than you with this.
I did. I did. All right, Jeremy, are you ready?
Yeah, man.
All right. If I remember right, you're a huge fan of the movie Blues Brothers.
I am.
Well, I've recast.
Son of a bitch, you stole my movie. It looks like we both are recasting this movie for Jeremy.
Okay, so.
Well, this is going to be fun because then I'm going to pick the winner.
Okay, for mine, for Jake Blues, for Joliet Jake Blues, who was originally played by John Belushi, that role is now going to go to Vin Diesel. Elwood Blues.
Pretty bad.
Elwood Blues. I think Atterbury fell out of his chair. I think so. Elwood Blues, originally played by Dan Aykroyd, is now going to go to Andy Dick. Vin Diesel and Andy Dick.
Oh my God.
So, and then who played Reverend Cleophas James Brown. 50 Cent will now play him. Cab Calloway, who sings Minnie the Moocher, will now be played by Billy Ray Cyrus. Ray Charles' character will now be played by Jay-Z. Aretha Franklin will now be played by Beyonce. And the mystery woman, Carrie Fisher, will now be played by Madonna. The worst. The worst. So that was, I'm sorry, Jeremy, but that's where I went. But now I'm curious to hear Atterburys.
I think we got to go straight into John on that.
Yeah, we do.
So I'll go with my version of Blues Brothers for Jeremy. I'm going to go ahead and say I didn't do the full musical casting because I didn't really want to go quite that deep. But for Jake, I think we need to have Justin Timberlake. And for Elwood, I think Jared Leto.
I like Jared Leto.
Two of them sing blues songs together while doing dances and stuff, I think would really be the icing on the cake.
That would be hard to watch.
It would be hard to watch.
It really would be. So that's my recasting of Blues Brothers for Jeremy.
Okay.
That was a good one.
That was good.
So before you go, he has to pick a winner.
Yeah.
I think I got to give it to Kluger just with Vin Diesel alone.
Vin Diesel and Andy Dick as the new Blues Brothers. Oh, it would be
the most absurd thing I think I've ever heard.
I'm sorry.
It's great. It's so awesome.
Yeah. All right.
So for Bryan, it's funny because you brought this up earlier in the show. I wanted to recast Back to the Future.
Oh my God!
Starring as Marty McFly, I would like to cast Jaden Smith.
Oh God! I can't believe this worked out so perfectly.
So well. As soon as you started the rant, I was just like, "Yes, this is great." So yeah, Jaden Smith as Marty McFly, and Doc Brown. I think I'm gonna have to go like really bad, over the top Johnny Depp.
Ooh, oh, God, Jaden fucking Smith.
That's good.
That is
hard.
That is.
Just imagine the guitar solo scene when he's playing Johnny Be Good. Just imagine that.
Oh, yeah. Now it's in my head now. Every time I'm gonna watch that movie now, but it's gonna be in my head.
You're welcome.
Damn you. All right, good stuff. All right, Jeremy.
All right, I'm gonna go with the one that I made for Kluger first. For Kluger.
Oh God.
I would remake The Matrix.
All right.
With Hayden Christensen as Neo.
Oh God. Oh, I'm just not happy about that at all. But good. That's good.
Yeah.
I love Keanu Reeves so much, and Hayden Christensen is just, nope, I'm out. I'd watch it though. I'd watch the failure fly into the air.
And I was trying to come up. I was really just going to go with him and Morpheus, and I could not come up with a cool actor that I felt like would really work for Morpheus. So I was just going to use Mike Tyson.
You think I'm trying to do it, and Mike Tyson.
I just thought about Mike Tyson doing the whole like red pill, blue pill thing, and I was like, yeah, actually that would be pretty funny.
I agree.
Be like sounding like the ladies' man from SNL doing the red and blue pill sketch. That's funny. All right, I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
So for John's, I actually went with, I don't know as much if he likes this movie or not, but I went with the annoying actor route for John. I would make The Parent Trap for John, but with Channing Tatum as a full-grown man as the twins.
God.
Oh.
That have lived their whole lives before meeting each other, and their dad is Bill Murray.
Oh,
fantastic! I would watch that because I like both those people.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty. I don't like that movie, so that in and of itself doesn't bother me. But watching a movie starring Channing Tatum and Bill Murray does make me kind of want to kill myself.
Yeah, I was like, the movie portion is irrelevant, but I was like, oh man, just the double helping of Channing Tatum. That was the route I went for this one.
2 Channing Tatums and Bill Murray. Ugh.
No,
thank you. I'd walk into oncoming traffic.
That was fun, guys. That was awesome. I want to see these movies now. Yes. I mean, who wouldn't want to see these movies?
You don't want to see Jaden. You want to see Jaden Smith as Marty McFly? That sounds pretty awful.
Just to watch it implode on itself. Oh, it'd be so terrible. I'm so glad that like work came full circle with Jane Smith today.
It was meant to be, obviously.
It really was. We're on the same page, even though we are thousands of miles away. That was fun. That was a good mediocrity, fellas. And our first video one. That was a good one. Oh, God. Vin Diesel and Andy Dick and Jane Smith. Oh, God. That is terrible. Just terrible. But we'll be back. We'll be back next week. And we'll be having fun and annoying the shit out of each other next week. We're Mediocrity. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Where can our audience find you guys?
New American Fitness for me on Instagram.
All right.
You can find me, Jeremy Megert Art, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Fantastic. And just type in Bryan Kluger and you'll find me everywhere. We will answer your questions. We will give you some information about movies, and we will tell you which video games to play. And we will let you smell us because we smell so sweet. We are Media-Ocrity, part of the Multimedia Men podcast on iTunes. Subscribe. We love you. See you next time.